Hello, my beautiful humans, and welcome to the Becoming Human 2.0 Unscripted podcast. I am your host, Paul McFadden, and it's my mission to create global impact and cultivate real connections through having authentic conversations that matter. Today, I'm joined by my special guest, Krista Ford, another beautiful human from Atlanta, Georgia. In this episode, we discuss pioneering balance, breaking barriers in sports, and spirituality. And of course, this conversation was completely unscripted. Here's a quick peek, and then we'll jump right into the conversation. So enjoy. And remember, we are all here to discover, awaken, and evolve together.
I was the first Black female to ever bobsled, that cold sport on ice. I was the
Bobsled.
first female to do that, yes.
Cool Runnings bobsled.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So I was the first Black female to ever do that sport, so I'm a pioneer. Main sport that I have loved and my passion and my gift has been powerlifting. So I'm one of the strongest women in the world.
Oh, wow.
So there we go with that.
There you go.
That's my passion and my love.
Krista, welcome to my show.
Thank you for having me on your show.
It's amazing to meet you. It's amazing to have you here. And I certainly want to have some conversation around anything and everything that is either personal well-being, physical well-being, emotional well-being, spiritual well-being, consciousness, whatever we want to have this conversation, and wherever it's going to flow, it's going to flow. But tell me about you first. Give me like a 50,000 foot view. Who is Krista and what is Krista passionate about?
Oh my gosh. Okay. First and foremost, I'm a professional athlete.
All right. What
one.
sports?
That's the biggest thing. That's my gift from God.
Awesome.
2, I'm a pioneer in the sports world.
Awesome.
I was the first Black female to ever bobsled, that cold sport on ice. I was the
Bobsled.
first female to do that, yes.
Cool Runnings bobsled.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So I was the first Black female to ever do that sport, so I'm a pioneer. Main sport that I have loved and my passion and my gift has been powerlifting. So I'm one of the strongest women in the world.
Oh, wow.
So there we go with that.
There you go.
That's my passion and my love. I am a spiritual human being. I just had a book drop. It launched last October and it is doing extremely well. And it is a spiritual memoir.
Okay.
My life. So my whole essence is all about God. Period.
Okay.
All about God. And I'm out here to give my message to the world right now that all of us need to wake up and you need to figure out what's going on in life. And so I'm just the vessel to be able to tell the story, to tell the whole world that everyone has purpose while they're walking here on this earth. Everybody has a gift. Everybody, just the essence of my whole life right now is I've been called to do this service now. And I still compete in my sport. 41 years later, I still compete. So therefore, that's my message to the people. No matter how old you get, if you get a God gift, you need to make sure you use it. So that later on, it will always repay you back. So that's really who I am. I live here in Atlanta, Georgia. I've been here for quite some time. And my vision is already coming true. Everything that I have projected to do in this life so far, true, because I have truly been intentional and I've been moving in this direction all the time. And I'm my goal here is to impact the whole world, not only with my story in this book, but we're looking at movie and documentary after this already. So it's
Hmm.
already get ready to get out here and impact the whole world as well. So I love that my gift has been me being an athlete my whole life. I
Hmm.
love that I'm a Black female in a male dominated sport of powerlifting, as well as I was in bobsledding, and that was male dominated too, as well.
Hmm.
And so I'm the Serena and Venus of my sport, to tell you the honest God truth. I really am. So I want to just take that message and just put it out here and just give people hope that you can do it. Anybody can do this. You just got to get your mind, you got to get your spirit right, you got to get in balance, and you got to get God first, period. I don't care who you are walking on this earth. You got to have God first. Then everything else flows in accordance to the way it's supposed to go. That's who I am.
That's amazing. So much to unpack, so much to explore. Pioneer, first Black woman in bobsledding
Yep.
and powerlifting, strongest woman in the
Mhm.
world. Just to unpack that, to being a major player
Yeah.
in male dominated sports, just that alone, and that's a
Yeah.
whole story by itself.
Yeah.
That's an entire story, but that's 2 books.
It is.
That's 2
It's
books.
a book it's already this book, and I'm already planning on series of books because this vision and this path that I'm on, it's incredible. It really is. And my love has just been the powerlifting. That's my love. The bobsled was another sport I did together with this, but that was in the plan in the first place. I just didn't realize the impact it was going to be of me being the first. Now I know. Now the book is here. Now the story is out. Now I could tell the whole world. But I didn't realize going through that this was going to be where it's at now. Not about that anyway. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But you did say something
Yeah.
else, and I'm gonna come back to that because I
Yeah.
want to ask some questions about
Yeah.
that experience in the athletic world. You're a world changer, right? You got a vision, and I'm all about world change. I was right before we came on, I was sharing with you what I
Yep.
posted on Facebook, and I was talking about people wanting the world, someone else to change the world for them, someone or something else. And it would better serve us to focus on the world within and change the world
That's-
within, right? And when we change the world within, that will then have a direct reflection on the world. So, talk to me a little bit more about your philosophy about world changing.
Wow. We'll be out here for the next 50 years.
That's okay. We got time.
So my vision now is changing the way people think.
Mm,
So I study the 12 laws of the universe, the law of attraction, and everything else. Everybody from Oprah to whoever right now is
mm,
talking about these laws and how we need to get our lives in order. We need to think better. We need to do for other people. We need to get back to the basics of what we used to be spiritually, because there's
mhm,
a lot of people here that are walking and they are sleepwalking in life right now. You are very much right about what you just said about how we have to start within. It's called self love. You got to do you first, then
mhm,
push it out to everybody else, right?
mhm,
I'm just a vessel right now. And this is what my calling has been. And I definitely realize that I have God's favor now, not only for the past 41 years that I've been competing as an athlete, but also the journey of now. I am supposed to be the voice to bring people in and back to where they need to be in the first place, because we've got so far off track here. All of us are just inundated with all this crap that is going on in this world, whether that be everything from just everyday living is difficult to do now because you got so much stuff around you. my role in this now, my calling, and I know what it is that I'm supposed to tell the whole world what I've been knowing all along is that we all have purpose. You have to think about and bring about in your life. You got to put it out here in a good way. So you reap what you sow. Whatever you're sowing out here in the world and in your life, you have got to sow that good stuff out there so you can receive good stuff. So all these people that are running around on this earth that are just sowing out all this bad crap, they getting that bad crap back,
Hmm.
and they need to wake up and stop doing that
Hmm.
because you have folks like a lot of people, we see that. We know what exactly, we know the language, we know what's going on. And I'm just, right now, I think my biggest thing is that I just want to be a voice and tell the whole world it's hope. You still have time. You
Hmm.
can make this work for your life. You have to understand that you can be and do anything you choose to do in this lifetime, but you got to get your stuff in order, period. All of us, you got to get my main thing is that I preach about the magic of life. How do you live the magic of life? The magic of life is only simply up here and in here. These two
Hmm.
right here got to go together. And
Hmm.
once you get that balance, you'll have the magic of life and you'll start living it. When you get these three things in order, spiritually, mentally, and physically, that's it. Those three in life will change your world. It really will. And it'll change other people too as well. So I am here to just, like I said, put this out here in the world, tell these Black females, you can do anything you want to do in this life.
Hmm.
You just all as soon as you get locked in and focused, it's good to go.
Hmm.
All these young kids, all these non-believers, I'm just here to tell you through my story, through my book, I have a scripture on every chapter after every chapter of my book. It
Hmm.
backs up what I'm saying. It
Hmm.
backs up how I'm living, coming from homeless to world champion. How do you do that? And I'm here to tell the world, let me tell you how you do this, right?
Right.
And you just got to have faith. You have to believe in you. That's the biggest thing. You got to have all this belief in you. And you have to have your relationship with God or whatever you believe in. I believe in the creator. This is something that I'm able to prove. You believe, you trust, and your whole life will do this every single time the same way. It will never change. You keep asking, you keep doing your part, you keep treating people well, you do what you need to do for yourself, but help others. Your whole life would just constantly do this rotation of living the magic of life. And I'm here to
Yeah.
show the whole world how you can do this by my life. I'm proof in the pudding. That's my, yeah. So,
I love that you said a couple things that really resonated, and I want to pull out. You talk about purpose and
mm,
calling, and like for me, for example, I just launched this 28-day jumpstart, right, for folks that are either curious about purpose and meaning, folks that have maybe lost in the journey, if you will, folks that have maybe need to recalibrate because their season has changed. Because I look at it this way, and I want to get your thoughts on this. I look at, generally speaking, by default, the purpose of every human being is to grow and give. Grow
yeah,
yourself, give to others, right? How you do that,
yeah,
unique to you. That's your calling.
yep,
You're called to grow this way and give this way.
that's
I'm
right.
called to grow the way that I need to grow and give the way that I need to give. And it doesn't have to be a monetary thing. It doesn't necessarily a time thing. You said, you pointed out your gifts. Like everyone has unique gifts. And it's like, because there's so much distraction in the world,
Uh,
we don't have the time to sit and reflect and think about, what am I passionate about? What are my unique gifts?
yep,
What are my true values? And do those things align? And then from that, am I feeling compelled and called to do something? Right? We all have a purpose in life.
we all do.
We
Yep,
all do. Anciently, we used to tease that out in tribes. In tribes, they would say the elders would come to the adolescents in the tribe. The day
yep,
is the day. You go out there and
yep,
survive and you don't come back
Yep.
until you figure out who you are and what you're here to do.
Absolutely.
And if you survive and come back, you need to have that answer to that question. And that's how the rites of passage or the walkabouts and all those things occurred anciently, right? And we don't do that anymore. We
Mhm.
replace it with the education system, right?
Mhm.
And we see how that has worked out. And as you pointed out, there are a lot of people having the same conversation about there are things we need to consider going back to the basics, do a reset, get reconnected, balance, right? You talk
Yep.
about balance, and I
Oh,
talk about balance from a emotional, mental, physical, spiritual perspective, right? But we're saying the same thing. It's like
yeah.
we in where we're losing, where we don't have the balance right now is in the
Yep.
spiritual. And I look at we all have the innate desire to be
Mhm.
spiritually connected.
Mhm.
Whether we do that religiously or we look at it, I've studied all seven, the major religions and all some of the minor ones too, right? It could be religiously based. We can say God, you can say Allah, you can say the universe, you can say the grand creator, you can say the grand architect, you can say Mother Earth, higher power.
Yeah. Yeah.
Believe in something,
Yeah.
right? That there's something bigger than just us, consciousness, bigger than us, right? But have that belief system and find balance in that in the way we live the rest of our life, right? I call it human alchemy because there's some change that needs to happen inside the
Yeah.
human vessel, this
Yeah.
experience,
Yeah.
all of this, all in outside,
Yeah.
right? We need that. And so there's a necessity for balance.
Yeah.
And when we're not balanced, things are in chaos. They're
Yeah.
misaligned.
Exactly.
And I think that what we're experiencing, you can correct me if I'm wrong, people have been talking about there's a spiritual awakening, a conscious awakening that's happening, right? I think that more people are probably having that experience and more people are tuned into it. There's a
Yeah.
lot of people probably don't know what it is and what this is all
Yeah.
about or what's even going on, but they feel a certain way
Yeah.
and they're asking the right questions, which is what I really appreciate
Yeah.
because there are more people that I've heard in the last year say to me, I'm really trying to figure out what my purpose is. I'm really trying to understand what this whole meaning of life is about. And as I was looking at just ancient alchemy and spiritual alchemy and just looking at these things, I'm like, there's there's obviously a gap here.
Yeah.
So I have my own way, but how do you make it less ethereal? When I say less ethereal, because it seems like this is out of reach for most people, right?
Mhm.
Everybody can't be the first.
Mhm.
Everybody can't be like, where did you find the resilience, the perseverance, the grit to even navigate those athletic worlds you were in 40 years? So if we can just do the math, we start going backwards and
Uh,
saying, okay, that was like early 80s. All right. So what was life like in the United States in the early 80s and before that? And when did you grow up? So then you start doing the math. I understand the story because I
you
was around too.
yeah.
Like,
See,
paint that picture.
because I've always been faith driven
Mm,
since I was that little.
mhm,
Do not love going to church, love Sunday school, love listening to the stories in the Bible. It just fascinated me. So as a child, I was already faith driven. Then I started noticing how God gave me gifts that I did not squander. And one of them was my athletics. As a
mm,
child, I realized I just loved being outside, hopping, skipping, jumping, playing with everybody. And then when I got a little bit older, my whole dynamics went from recreational athletics to team athletics. And
mm,
then you got this awesome camaraderie on a team, and you're held responsible for this and that and other. For me, it has been I'm gonna tell you something, which I don't, some people believe this, or a lot of people probably believe this.
mm,
Prayer.
mm,
I talk to God all day long, every day. And as an adult, what I have learned is I am elevating on a much, much higher level. I'm way up here now. And my
mhm,
vibration is way up here now. So
Mm-hmm.
my energy is way up here now. How did I get there? I did a lot of studying and I started talking to God a lot. And I was like, God, send me this omen, send me that omen. And then he's okay, I'm gonna send you this omen, but I want you to do your part too, is speaking this magic of life. How do you do this? How do you have this? How do you get this kind of outcome by doing what you're supposed to be doing, let's just say in life?
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it was all a learning curve recently. Since this book has dropped, I have learned a ton about universal energy, God's energy, people's energy, just everything. So I look at things so much different now. When I say so much different, I'm still faith driven. I still love the Lord and everything like that. But I'm
Yeah.
looking and I'm really seeing a lot of clarity and discernment with people, places, things, and opportunities in my life. So I
Yes.
see that once somebody settles down in their spirit, just
Mm-hmm.
be quiet. Just sit and be quiet. I don't care if it's 5 minutes and find out inside of you what you need. What do you need? What do you truly need in life? And let's take out all the equations, take out the family, take out the partner, take out the girlfriend, the boy, take it all out and just get into you and quiet your soul. And then you will figure it out. If you stay in there, I believe you will figure out what your purpose is. Things will start coming to you. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Here's an omen. There's a sign. People
Mm-hmm.
are talking to you. You start seeing things. Just start. So it'll come to you. But I think that we all, to start, if my start was that I just quieted myself and I could see and hear more clearly. I could see everything in front of me more clearly. And that was as I got on this level of vibration where I'm at now, which
Mm-hmm.
law of attraction, what you think about, you bring about. Once I started studying those laws and really putting it into play with God and praying a lot and saying, God, I know you'll manifest this. I have a vision board. I believe in them because half the stuff on my vision board, Paul, has already come true in my life. Now you
Mm-hmm.
that's my question to people. How is that possible?
Yeah.
How can I have a board that has all of my vision on it and it comes true?
Mm-hmm.
The big stuff is already, and then it's everything's in its work. So I believe that it goes back to what you said. You have to get within. You need
Mm-hmm.
to find out what makes you happy in life. You need to find out what you need to do to elevate yourself to be on a higher level of energy so that you'll keep attracting those higher energy of people to you, places, things, and opportunities. And then you get that balance, that spiritual, mental, and physical. Once you start diving into you and just be quiet and let you and God have that relationship, boy, this stuff starts taking off, Paul. And you,
Mm.
like your eyes are wide open. You're going, oh my gosh, look at everything that's happening now that I started thinking better, quieting my soul, getting into me, figuring out what I want to do in life. And you already know this. Our time is not refundable, Paul. Tick tock. So what you
29,200 days to be exact, about give or take a couple hundred days this way or that way. Who knows? Right? Every day is not guaranteed.
and that's been my journey all along from then to now, is
Yes.
that I have always been one of these that way all the time. And I know it's because of God. I do. I know it because my life is showing it. The sustaining of my life all the way up to this point. Though, like I said, I was homeless. How do you become homeless and go being a world champion in a sport? How do you
Mm.
do that? What is that equation in between there that's the equal? And it
Mm-hmm.
is because if you just are driven in life and you don't ever give up and you want to see better for yourself, and you want to help others, all that good stuff just comes back in your life, just keeps coming back, just keeps like a boomerang. It just comes back around and gets you in a good way. Just
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just so much like you said in this world right now, we are in a spiritual warfare, and all of us that are believers see it. It's biggest day. This stuff ain't no joke right now, what we're going through. Not no
Nope.
joke at all. And it's all being prophesized. It really is. If you really look at the world and what's going on with all of this craziness that's absolutely nuts out here, it's all being prophesized. You just got to believe in this stuff and you got to see it. It's as plain as day, all the stuff that's happening. So we have to change. And people like yourself and me, we need to open up our mouth and tell people, no, let's try this because this is
Mhm.
going to be your better way. And this
Yeah.
is going to save you. But and a lot of people on a platform like yourself and me, athletes have big platforms. The minute we speak, or entertainers, people like yourself, entrepreneurs, people listen. So we have
Mhm.
a good platform to talk on. We just gotta, like you said, we gotta open our mouths, we gotta talk, we gotta help, we gotta get people pulled in because it's gonna save them and they're gonna just be so much more fulfilled and happy in life if they just go back to the basics. They gotta go back to the basics, the way me and you were raised.
Mhm.
All this craziness that we see. Oh my God, what even close to this?
We got it. We got It's so funny. I was having a couple conversations over the last couple of weeks about the difference in the ways that folks have been raised. And I follow some folks on Facebook. I think it's called The Generations or something like that. And
Yeah, yeah,
they do some stuff, some skits around
yeah,
this is what the millennials look like. This is what Gen Alpha looks like. This is what
yeah,
the
yeah,
Xers look like, the
yeah.
boomers. But I think it's obviously deeper than that. Like I said, I like to go back to ancient wisdom, and ancient
Oh,
practice. Not everything anciently was good. I'm not going to say that all
okay.
the ancient practices that were there before we had organized civilization were some loving, caring, compassionate practices. People were sacrificed for whatever reasons in some cultures, and those things did happen. But there were also some things that were useful to the advancement of the community and the advancement of the tribe and how the tribe wrapped around, took care of, supported. Everyone had defined roles and how they contributed to the tribe, and it just worked, right? And
Mm.
so you dropped a lot of nuggets. You had the prayer practice. I would
Right.
say
It,
anyone that has a spiritual practice, I consider prayer as like a meditation. The point
it,
is that because you were talking about going inward, right? And so
yeah.
the point is that you had an established practice. It wasn't something you did every once in a while. Oh, my life is not doing what I need to do. I need to pray.
Yeah.
Oh, my life's in chaos. I need to sit down and meditate for a few minutes.
That's a lot of people though, what you just said.
No, I know that. There's a
Yeah,
lot of people that do that.
yeah,
And then they go, it doesn't work for me. Yeah, because you're not being consistent.
that's right.
You got to be consistent. And you can't just do those things when things aren't going well for you. You
That's
need to
right.
do those things when they're going right for you too,
Gotta
all
get
the
it.
time.
You gotta get intentional with it.
You got to be
Intentional.
intentional.
You gotta get in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Go ahead. But you're
There's
right.
intention. So you highlighted that, and I love that. There's another nugget you dropped, not just about the consistency of the spiritual practice, but it's like you had an unswervable will.
I did.
You had a
Yep.
vision,
Yep.
and you kept moving
Yep.
toward vision, right?
Yep.
And a lot of people, I would say, more often than not, many people don't have a vision as to where I do this talk about dream killers, right? And there is a time in our lives, and I know what happened. So we're growing up, and all you got to do is encounter one person or have one experience where you find out or you're not able to do that thing you thought you had a dream to do.
Yeah.
And many times, let's say it's a person in authority, it's a teacher, it's a caregiver, it's a parent, it's a person in the community that's respected, and they say, you can't do that.
Yep.
And when we're young, we don't know any better. And so we listen, right? And it's unfortunate because on one hand, you don't want to say it's your fault, but we did
Right.
choose to believe it, right?
Yeah.
And it's not your fault until you have the awareness around what you could do. And then you choose not to pursue it anyway, right?
Yeah.
So then that's when it becomes your fault because now you're making a choice. You've been made aware that this
Yep.
is what you dreamed and you're
Yep.
deciding, I don't want to do it.
Yep.
Okay.
That's
Then who are you going to blame? But we have dream killers, and sometimes it's a situation. I know people who have lost both limbs, got prosthetics, and they'd run in the Paralympics
yep.
and run faster than some able bodied folks. So don't tell me it's not possible.
Yeah.
when I see someone have the will to do it. And it's, but you don't have to wait for something traumatic to happen. Okay, so you got the dream killer at 5, maybe you got it at 7, maybe 12, maybe
Mhm.
15 or 16, maybe 18, maybe 21, maybe 25, maybe 30, maybe 40. There's a pattern, there's when it happens, right? But
Mhm.
the thing is, you had a dream or you had a vision long ago and you stayed focused on the dream. You stayed focused on the vision. And I think that's nugget number 2 most people miss. And it's not like it just happened
Yeah.
yesterday. This
Mhm.
is a lifetime. This is a lifetime. This is a way of living, a lifestyle. This is not sometimes I do it and sometimes I
Right.
don't. It's, or today I can't do it because I got kids. Oh,
You just said, but just going off of piggybacking off what you said earlier
mm,
is the biggest thing here is like you said, we get that and we don't see the results right away and
mm,
we give up. That's the line right there that you cannot give up
mm,
because a lot of times those miracles or what's going to happen with your life is right around the corner. Give it another minute. It's going to happen. But you're
mm,
right. We get so bogged down with we don't see instant results. And then we
mm.
understand you just gotta be patient.
Gotta be patient.
Gotta be patient with yourself and with the process because the process is not on our time. That's where
Mm,
humans, we're all this way, and I'm this way too. We're stubborn and we want to control the narrative every freaking time in our lives.
mm.
Can't do that because we are not in control like that, like we think we are. But
Yeah.
you're right. People just give up. They
They give
stop
up.
and they don't because they don't see the result. They want it right in there. Boom. I want this. I want this person. I want that to happen to me right away. You don't
Yeah.
understand. God gives us all free will, but
Mm,
he also tells us, listen, I'll give you anything you want, but you got to work at it too and
mhm.
show me and trust me. And then it'll all come together nicely. But you're right. I was just thinking about what you just said about how people just give up. They just stop. Oh, y'all were that. You're right there.
It's like you're that close. It's like the seed that's sprouting to the seedling, and then it's
Yes.
about to break through the
Yes.
surface, and
Yes.
then we stop watering it, and we take the light off of it, and it
It
goes, "Oh, okay," and then
goes down.
you miss out on the blessing, and that's one way to look at it, and that's what happens. Or we look at how come this person was able to make that happen so fast, and you want to say, and we're all guilty of this, right? I'm
Right.
not saying this as though I am infallible and as though I've
Yeah.
never done
Yeah.
this before.
Yeah.
How come they got it? You know what? Maybe your belief system wasn't right. Maybe your mindset wasn't right. Maybe emotionally you weren't attached to it as much as you thought you were. Maybe you weren't putting in the effort that you thought you were putting in. Something was misaligned. So it's not just throw it out there and it's going to come. It might come if you do the right
Right.
things, but if you don't do anything to support that and to align with that and bring that energy to you, like you have to be vibrating at that frequency in order to
You,
receive at that frequency.
you
And
do.
whatever you're vibrating at is what you're going to get.
Exactly. And that person achieved, and you're looking at that person, that
Mhm.
was their gift from God. That was not your gift. That
Right.
was for them. So
Mhm.
that's why they did that. It's not the same. It's like for whatever that person did was not for you to do.
Not
That's
for you to do.
them. You
Mhm.
can't say that. Just know that was them. And maybe that same vision was not for me. That was it.
Mhm.
It wasn't made from them. So a
Made for
lot,
them.
yeah, if you look at that sometime when you see successful people and you go, wow, how did they? Because that was their gift from God. That was not yours. You might
Mhm.
have a different gift in line. Of course you
Yeah.
would.
Of
God
course
has
you do.
a totally different plan for you. So
Mhm.
it's change the way you're thinking about that. I agree.
Mhm.
You'll get everything that's coming to you as well, but you cannot compare yourself to another human being
Yeah.
that has all kinds of other things going on. That has nothing to do with you. You have to focus on you and what
Yeah.
your gift and what you need to do and what you don't need to be looking at somebody else. You need to be telling them that you're happy for them. You need to be
Yeah.
very supportive because they're
And grateful for their blessing, right? Because that in turn impacts you. Right?
exactly. Exactly. You got it. You got
And
it. Yep.
I'm always talking to people about having gratitude practice. I would
Yep.
imagine that your gratitude practice is stacked with your prayer practice. I do gratitude and intention. And so gratitude to be thankful for the sun,
Mhm.
moon, for being waking up, for the air that I'm breathing, for
Yep.
being able to put my feet on the ground and have the experience to meet great people, have amazing conversations. I'm grateful for all of it. And my intentions are, and it's interesting because my intention changes every day. Depends. I am called to awaken spirit in others. I am called
Yep.
to build relationships with others. I
Yep.
am called to make disparate connections of different knowledge areas and bring them together and then unpack them and repurpose them and put them out in a practical way so people can actually understand the translation. I'm talking
Yep.
about science, spirituality, and ancient wisdom.
Yep.
But I'm doing it because
That.
they're all the same in
Yep.
actuality. It's just a matter of understanding where those connections are so that when I'm speaking to the person who's got the religious background, you know what I'm talking about. Talking about the ancient spiritual background, you know what
Right.
I'm talking about. When I'm talking about the scientific background, you know what I'm talking about. And I can make the connections go like that. I'm also called to bring joy and give people experiences,
And open love and all
all
those
that.
things, all that stuff goes together as well as what you just said. I have an attitude of gratitude
Mhm,
every day, every morning. I got a routine before when my feet hit the floor.
mm,
I'm telling guys, thank you. And I'm grateful for everything, including the breath that I am breathing, that I am alive. One more day, one
mm,
opportunity. That is very true. And people who believe that way and have an attitude of gratitude about all they already have,
mhm,
you just give more of what you got as long as you're grateful for what you already have. And like you said, the sun, waking up, all of that is
mhm,
as long as you're grateful for that and you tell him that, oh my gosh, you just keep getting more and more. And I have an actual routine every
mm.
day, every morning. This is all day, but when I first wake up, you got
Yeah.
attitude of gratitude. You need to be grateful for what you got. And you definitely need to be grateful that you got breath of air of life that
And
you woke
life, at
up.
least, there's this common denominator. There's the basic thing. And
Yeah.
I see so many people get upset and frustrated with
Yeah.
where they are in their life. And
Yeah.
yeah, I've done that in my life
Yeah.
too. I mean,
Yeah.
we're not infallible, but you come back to the practices. Wait a minute. I can be mad about, I could have a conversation, say, I should be here. First of all, we shouldn't be shooting ourselves,
Yeah.
right? But we should ourselves all the time. I should be here. I see this person. I should be in the same place. Maybe just be grateful for what you got and the experiences that you've already had,
Absolutely.
and that what you're having right
Bring
now.
more. And it always bring more. I'm just gonna throw something in here real quick. Two books I don't even like to read. Now you gonna think I'm crazy. I
I don't like to read.
I like I got a book right now, but I don't like to read. But I love listening. I'm like Whoopi. She'll
Yeah.
been it on her show all the time. She said, I love Audible. I listen. I'm the same way.
Mm.
Happened to come across a book a long time ago called The Secret
Yep.
by Rhonda
Yep. I know it. I'm very
first got
familiar.
on. She was on Oprah and
Mhm.
they were like, what is this secret? What is this secret? And that book changed my life. When I say changed my life on the elevation where I'm at now, because now that I started really understanding that attitude of gratitude is first and foremost, period here.
Mhm.
And just be grateful of everything. And then teaching you the law of attraction, everything about the secret. Another book that changed my life was The Alchemist. You mentioned,
Yes. Yep.
hey,
Julia. Yep. Yep.
that changed my life too, because all of it is aligned together. Like me and you talking, I don't believe in no coincidences. I believe that we talk because we're supposed to be together and talk together today.
Mhm.
As well as I believe that everything in your life will start aligning up universally. That's supposed to be. You're going to start getting the books you need to read. You're going to start
Mhm.
having the cultivated tribe around you that you need
Mhm.
to get you on that next spot or go along with you on your journey. But it's all aligned right. But we just got to do that. So, whatever you need to do in your life, I believe, go do it. You need to track these things to you, that book, that person,
Mhm.
these people, whatever, that opportunity. You'll start attracting the things that you need most in your life to elevate you and get you on this great way of thinking and feeling,
Mm-hmm.
but you got to come back to that basic thing. You better be grateful that you're alive. I
Mm-hmm.
don't care what else happens for the day. Who cares? I'm breathing.
Right.
And there's another person that today was not breathing. They stopped breathing. And
Every minute.
that's my message to most people or
Mm-hmm.
everybody right now. Y'all need to be grateful. Stop this foolishness of being selfish and all this crap, this narcissism is going on in the world. Stop it. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
need to stop doing this stuff and understand y'all got one more day, one more opportunity to say something nice to somebody, a kind gesture, do a kind thing, whatever the case may be. But people need to stop this craziness because we need to just all be grateful. And I'm that way. I have a routine, just like my athletic and my career. I've always had a routine. And
Yeah.
there's one more thing I want to throw in here. You got to get a plan. You got to get a plan. You got to
Mm,
sit down and figure out what the heck do you want?
mm,
Life. What do you
mm,
want to do? Be, go, whatever it is. What do you want to have? But
mhm.
you got to sit down and formulate a plan because God got a plan for your life. You need to have one too, and then sync it up with Him and watch and see what happens. But you
Yeah.
got to have a plan. You have all these people running around, Paul, that are just clueless. They're running
Right.
around going, like you said, pointing the finger at other people and worried about this. No, you need to settle down, settle
Mm.
yourself, quiet yourself, write yourself a plan. I would like to have, like you already have it.
Like you
I
already got it.
to see like you already have it. I want to see this. I want to be this place. I want to do. You got to have a plan. You got to sit down and write your plan out.
Gotta have a
And
plan.
then start implementing it. Then
Mm,
start praying on it, of
mhm.
course. And then start getting intentional. If you want it, you need to go after it. Stay with it. Don't give up on it. You'll get it.
You get it.
Eventually, you'll get it.
Yeah.
I absolutely know that without a doubt. You'll get it. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the things that came to mind as you were talking, if you had to name one person who was most influential in your life when you were growing up, who was that person?
I got to say God.
Okay.
I'm serious when I say that because
Mhm.
I can't really say, besides my grandma, and my grandma very influential, so I could say her.
Mm.
So I had to say God first. Then I think
I got you.
and my grandmother and my aunt Bobby. These two people are in my book because it's a memoir. But I made them to be third in line. But yes, so if I have to say human beings,
Yeah.
yeah, my
Okay.
grandma and my aunt Bobby, spiritually, of course, God. But yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, those were the two.
Awesome. And last question.
Okay.
That was coming up with the top of my head. I'm like, 'cause I was thinking, like, who's the influencers, right? You have children?
No.
Okay. What would you tell? This is a good question. What would you say to your younger self, your 20-year-old self? I don't know where you were when you were 20, what that looked like for you. But what would you say to your 20-year-old self about
Well, I say,
about today?
what would I say to myself?
Yeah, about today, 20 years ago.
Good job, my good and faithful servant.
I love it.
I would say to myself, Paul, and I mean that with every bit of my soul.
Mm,
I could have went all kinds of directions in life, and I did not. I stayed focused, I stayed locked in, and I stayed on the promise that if I just keep working hard and I keep intentional and I keep moving in this direction, I will be blessed and receive everything good that is supposed to come in my life.
hmm
So I would say, good job to myself when I was in my early years. Good job. I didn't give up. I didn't give up. I never gave up. And now I'm reaping all of the fruits of my hard labor now. And it's awesome feeling. I don't want anything from this without to be able to share with other people how I did this
mm,
and how they can do it. Even if they're not doing it yet, they can do it. Yeah, that's what I would say.
awesome.
Yeah.
What's the name of your book and where can we get it?
My name in my book is Krista's Promise, spelled with a K, Krista,
Mm,
Promise by Krista Ford. It is currently on Amazon, Barnes& and Noble, bookshop.org, Apple Books, and it's in 2 bookstores, 2 brick and mortars here in Atlanta already. Nubian Bookstore and Tall Tales. And Audible is coming. Remember I told you I don't like to read. Audible is coming.
Audible is
Working on
coming.
we should have that out early part of this year. So it'll be on Audible. Uh,
Amazing.
and it's just like I said, to tell the whole world, it will change your life. This book is my life story, but it's changed my life. So I'll
Mhm.
be able to share that with everybody else. So yeah, it's called Krista's Promise. And yeah, you can find it on everything there. And yes, yeah,
That's amazing. That's awesome. I got all your socials, so I will post those with the episode. We'll talk offline about the other
oh
stuff. And I know you were interested in the tribe that I'm creating. You
yeah,
indicated that, so we'll have another conversation about that. I do want to have you speak to my tribe members and share your story because I think that there's a lot of alignment. You shared a lot of nuggets around purpose and calling and around having practices, having morning rituals, the whole attitude of gratitude. There's a lot there, right? Because I think those are the things that would better serve us to get right, if you will, and find more balance and have a better experience here.
yeah,
And another thing you said, that we only got so much time. We could spend our lives going through it with no plan, no vision, no
yeah,
direction, and just allow life to happen to us. And
yeah,
that's what's happening. Many people are just allowing life to happen to you.
yeah,
When we can become the architect of that,
yeah,
if we find the balance that we need to find emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically,
yeah,
find balance that way,
yeah,
we can start traveling the path that was meant for us. We got choice and we can say, yeah, we have every possibility that we could choose already existed and there for us. But remember that we're making choice moment to moment, but everything leads to right now.
it does.
Just
It
like I
does.
said, we're not speaking by chance.
No,
Everything you've done in the past, everything I've done in the past led to this intersection
moment.
to have this
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
I said to people, I'm like, I don't understand how that I wasn't supposed to go through all that bad stuff. I said, stop looking at it bad. You wouldn't have met me if you hadn't have done that.
Exactly.
We
Exactly.
wouldn't be talking right now had that not happened.
And it was all purposeful.
Mm,
Everything is purposeful. The bad in your life was for a purpose
mm,
to teach you a lesson about something and to
mhm.
move forward. You're right. Absolutely.
Something.
Absolutely.
I am honored to have you on the show. And I'm really looking forward to having you on with me again soon.
Thank you.